Hi, this is Chandler Rose, and I have the lovely Adrian with me today, and this is a massage for the Fountain of Youth. I'm going to talk about my favorite essential oils. They're great for using in your massage practice or if you're just learning massage. They're also very good for the skin and facial areas like the face and the décolleté and neck. I like to start by thanking our sponsor, iherb.com, for sending all these really beautiful, helpful essential oils. The oils I'm using today are from our Cacia. It's very important that you have carrier oils when you're using pure essential oils, especially when you're using them on the skin. A couple really great carrier oils we have from our Cacia are apricot kernel oil and grapeseed oil. They are small molecule oils that absorb really easily, and they're perfect for integrating your essential oils during your massage. So I've been using essential oils topically in my massages for almost 15 years, and I find that it really takes this type of therapy to the next level. So when you're using essential oils, you are administering the essence of the plant or tree or flower that you're working with. And this essence is essentially the energy of that plant. And our bodies are built to take in these little particles from these plants and be able to use them in a very profound way. A lot of people are familiar with lavender, eucalyptus, lemon, some of the oils that are already in products that you're using, either skincare or cleaning wise. But it's very important to just think about where these oils are coming from and also enhancing the therapies that you may be interested in. This is going to enhance relaxation. It's going to help the lungs and the respiratory system really open up. You're breathing the oils in as you're administering them topically, so the body is adjusting as you're using them. It's also a very safe way to administer something that is a very helpful and powerful supplement for the body. So today I'm going to be using a few of my favorite oils, and I will show you how you can blend them together here. So I'm gonna take a little dish. Hopefully you have a carrier oil at home. If you have cooking oil that is organic or cold pressed, you can also use an oil like sunflower seed oil as well. This one is apricot kernel. I really like apricot kernel because it is a very light, small molecule oil, which is very easy for the skin to absorb. And I'm going to use grapeseed oil as well. And these two really light oils are very good for any Swedish type techniques or massage that involves a lot of moving of your hands and arms. So there's quite a bit of slip when you're using a carrier oil that's a seed oil. It's very light and it tends to not leave people greasy, which is why I choose these seed oils over some of the other nut oils, which tend to be more heavy. So I'm going to just show you how to use some of these in this carrier oil. And less is more with essential oils or extracts. You don't want to add too much. This is a very relaxing lavender. I can smell it just even from here. And I'm just going to put 2 to 3 drops. And then I have some stir sticks. I'm just going to gently stir this into the carrier oil. If you're in your kitchen, like me, sometimes when I'm making oils, a whisk is really good too because you're really dispersing these small molecule particles that smell really good. So you're getting the benefit of what you'll use topically, but you're also getting the benefit of breathing these oils in as you're working with them as well. So lavender is very good for helping with sleep and relaxation. It's also antiseptic, and so it can be used on the face as a cleaning oil. It's antibacterial, and it's also very gentle. The next oil I'm gonna add is called Ylang, and this is actually extracted from a tropical flower, and it smells very, very floral. So I'd make sure to choose an oil that you like. If you ever smell an oil and you have a strong reaction to it, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be using it, but I would just kind of do a little research on how that's best used, because if you have a strong reaction, you may actually need that oil. But topically, I like to stick to very gentle oils. So I'm going to drop a couple drops of the Ylang in there as well. Also antibacterial, antifungal, very helpful for any redness in the skin. So the next oil that I'm using is one that I use a lot. It's called Copaiba, or you'll hear it, if you do research on it, it's actually resin from the balsam tree. And this is researched quite a bit as being one of the most anti-inflammatory oils on the planet. And it smells really earthy. They all have a different essence or energy to them. And I tend to really be attracted to the tree oils because they give me this really strong sense of grounding. And any oils you're using that have a resin from a tree typically are very sticky. And so you can see when I'm working with it, it takes longer to come out of this bottle than, say, the lavender or the Ylang that is very fluid. So the tree oils are quite sticky. However, when you use them, I would recommend being patient. You don't necessarily want to just shake them out of the bottle. I would just kind of work with the flow of how the oil comes out, because it will. Some of them just take a little longer, the resiny ones from tree oils. So I'm just stirring this up, and now I have a really lovely floral, earthy blend. Very relaxing, very good for pain. So the last oil I'm going to use for this massage is rose oil, and I have it here in a spray, which a lot of people like for facial toners. And then I also have it in a roller ball, also can be applied directly to the face and skin, and this will work along with our other oils that we're using in this Fountain of Youth facial massage. All right, we have our lovely, relaxing floral blend here with notes of Copaiba for any sort of pain she might be feeling. I'm just going to pour this oil into a better glass, and if you're someone new to oils, you can start with something like this, but I'd recommend getting a little oil bottle so you're not spilling. And I'm just going to use a little bit to start. And this is going to give us a great amount of slip, so you don't really need a whole bunch. And before I do massage, I always like to warm the oils in my hands. And for a facial massage, it's also nice to just offer her some oils that I've just applied, and she can breathe them in a couple times. And I'm going to work these oils into her décolleté area and into her shoulders and neck, and also the face. And feel free to reapply oils as needed. Apricot kernel and grapeseed are great on the face. A lot of people ask questions about making a face oil. So anytime you're working on the face, it's important to mostly work up towards the crown of the head. any sort of fountain of youth or anti-aging massage, you want to bring the blood up. And so any movement or most movements should be administered towards the crown of the head, and that will help give this lift that we all can benefit from. And so I'm just coming in very slowly on each of her facial points. There's a couple really good points in the third eye area. There's some wonderful points just under the jawbone and the bones that make up the jaw. And you can also come into the area under the chin where you have a lot of lymph working. And face massage, or massage applied for the skin, is a little different than massage applied just for the muscles. And that's because you're working with the lymph system, which is very superficial. So this type of massage tends to be lighter in pressure. So just to touch back in on the oils that I am administering now, we have lavender, which is antibacterial and antiseptic. It's also very helpful with inflammation or redness. So if you have someone that has any skin issues or acne, lavender is a really good and gentle way to help treat those sebaceous glands and decrease oil in the skin. It's kind of interesting that some people are somewhat afraid to put oil on their face when they have some issues going on with their skin, but the oil on a superficial level is really offering this layer of protection to the skin. It's also getting the skin to a place where it is making the pH more alkaline, which a lot of times when you have someone that has redness in the skin, or maybe they're breaking out, their body is more acidic. And so if you're offering a gentle face oil like this one and massaging it in, you're really going to decrease redness, offer some protection. It's also eating up any bacteria that might be on the surface of the skin. So just to touch in on rose oil, which is known to be the most expensive essential oil, simply because cultivating roses is a very intensive type of work. And then you also need a lot of rose petals to get enough oil to extract for this kind of thing. So I'm going to use our little roller ball from our Cacia, and this is rose oil I can just directly administer to the points in the face. And the great properties of rose oil are similar to lavender. It is a tonic. It It has a tonic property that is also an antiseptic for the skin, so it actually cleans the skin. It helps to control the sebum production, which I mentioned earlier. So it's very good for people with acne. It balances the pH in the skin and actually tightens up the pores. And so when you're using it in a facial, you get that pore tightening effect, which a lot of people really like for the Fountain of Youth massage. Rose oil is also antibacterial. It has antifungal properties. And when it's inhaled, it actually lowers cortisol levels. Now, this is an oil that you want to avoid if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. And I think it's important to mention that anytime you're working with a new essential oil or extract, you do your own research on if it's okay with pregnancy or other sort of conditions where you might not want to use this oil. So do a little research. Just to touch back in on another oil that we're using here, which is really good for more deep tissue massage, would be Copaiba or Mexican balsam. I know we also have a lot of balsam out of Texas. And again, this is one of the most anti-inflammatory substances on earth. So it's great for deep tissue work if you're someone that carries a lot of tension in your shoulders or anywhere in the body, and you can just take some Copaiba with a carrier oil and rub it into that area. It will help to decrease pain. It's also been researched to show that it helps eliminate scars. Most of us have scars from something or another, so it's nice to have an oil that helps with that cell regeneration. Balsam is also really good for relieving congestion. Trees are so interesting in the way that they can give off allergens or pollen or oils that can really bother our system, and at the same time there are trees that produce an oil or resin like Copaiba and can actually really assist if you're feeling allergies, especially this time of year. Copaiba has also been researched to show that it prevents infection in the skin. It helps with different skin disorders, like anything related to fungus. It's antifungal, really good for athlete's foot. So if you're someone that has any sort of skin disturbance that is giving you any sort of sensation, this is a really good oil for soothing dry skin anywhere in the body. So the last oil I'm going to mention in our beautiful Fountain of Youth blend is Ylang, which has that really romantic, tropical, fragrancy scent to it. This oil is also really great for helping with any sort of overproduction of oil in the skin. And I find it interesting that the oils that are really good with balancing pH and oil in youth, in teenagers and anyone with hormonal issues are also really good for hydrating the skin in someone that just wants a topical for anti-aging. So these oils are not really for one age group. They're good for, they're great and gentle and supportive for anyone that has both maybe acne, or maybe they just want their skin to look and feel more hydrated. Ylang is really, really good in a bath as well. So you can add 1 to 2 drops to a bath, and this will help balance the pH in your skin. And it has this really fragrant aroma. So I'm just going back into some of the areas in her face and bringing some new awareness, some circulation. These oils really help with elasticity. And can really give you a nice lifted, glowing feel and look after they're applied. And there's something kind of timeless about these pure flower essences, because a lot of times they bring us back to maybe someone that we know that used these oils. They've been used historically for thousands of years. So if you have an oil you like, I recommend looking up the history of it. It's so interesting how powerful these flower and tree oils can be for our body and for our skin and for our sense of relaxation. All right, so I just wanted to mention one more very important oil that's super helpful for the face and also very, very relaxing. We have German chamomile here, super soothing. German chamomile is actually blue, which I like working with it, and it's just so interesting that it extracts this color, because chamomile, the flowers themselves are yellow. So it's interesting that the oil is just this beautiful blue color. And I'm going to give it a little stir. So chamomile is really good to take other ways as well. Chamomile tea is super relaxing. There are flowers or flower oils or tree oils that all kind of work the same way. So the more you work with them, the more you'll get familiar as to how to use them. So I'm just going to apply this chamomile to her skin and evenly distribute on her face. I was reading about German chamomile, and I found it interesting that there's all this research that shows if you take anywhere from 220 milligrams to 1,100 milligrams a day for 8 weeks, it can really reduce anxiety and depression. So if you're feeling like you need a little gentle helper in that department, chamomile is a very potent herb to be taken You can drink tea or you can administer other ways, but definitely do some research on how to take it. And topically, you get those similar benefits to lavender and ylang with a very gentle application, great for the skin, very hydrating. Chamomile is also really great for the digestive system. So if you have any stomach or intestinal challenges, you can administer these oils topically on your abdomen and areas around that. It's very sleepy. This oil is very good for using right before bed. And in a massage, I infuse most of my oils with chamomile because it does definitely help the nervous system chill, and the relief happens pretty quickly with chamomile, so you're gonna notice it right away, usually even smelling it. So if you're someone that has racing thoughts or any stressors that are coming up often, chamomile is good for slowing things down. Before I close, I just wanted to tell you about a few more of these oils from our Cacia that I will be talking about more in the next video. You can use them, some of them in the same way, and some of them are used in a different way. I have Tamanu oil here, which is actually an oil derived from a nut, and it has soothing properties. It's also great to use on the face. It's very good for controlling acne, and it's great for healing scars, and also another wonderful anti-inflammatory. And then I have grapefruit and sweet orange, which are very good for mood balancing. Research has shown they have antidepressant properties. They're also antiseptic. I don't use them as much topically as I do diffusing them. So just do your research on any of the acidic citrus oils. Some of them can be quite hot when put on the skin. There's also an amazing car diffuser here from our Cacia. So if you are wanting to put some oils in your car, this is also a really great way to get them. And I have tea tree oil and oregano oil. Also, I'd recommend doing research on each of those just because they do come out very hot. So you want to know exactly how to dilute them. They're very powerful. Tea tree is very good for acne as well. And oregano is really good for digestive imbalances. Both tea tree and oregano have antiseptic properties. So they're very good for cleaning. And they're also great for fighting bacteria or fungus. So if you're dealing with some mold or allergens, those are really good oils that help with that. This is Purifying Yoga Mist with tea tree oil and lemon. Also very good for cleaning an energetic space or just putting on a surface to help with bacteria, and just overall it really smells good and feels good. It's nice to have it in this water-based form as well, because then you get to breathe in these little particles of plant extracts that are very helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and a big thank you to iHerb for sponsoring, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
iHerb.com carries over 30,000 natural products and ships to over 150 different countries. Their orders are shipped from climate-controlled distribution centers to ensure the quality of their products. iHerb offers customer service 24 hours a day and 7 days a week in 10 different languages. It's also really easy to even chat with someone on the iHerb website while you're shopping. Be sure to check the description box below for a link to all the products mentioned in this video.
Introducing Yoga Plus, offering a free series every month with over 300 different videos. Take control of your health. Work out anytime, anywhere. Yoga Plus. Download now for free.